Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, we're talking about checking out ebooks at your local library. While many people enjoy reading actual printed books, like me, there's a growing interest in reading on tablets, which is why libraries around the state have been offering ebooks for checkout. But there are costs associated with doing that are posing a challenge for our local libraries. Here to explain is Ellen Paul, the Executive Director of the Connecticut Library Consortium. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So I told you, I'm a dinosaur. I've never read anything except for a physical book. I don't know why, I just never have. So you have Wally Lamb's new book, which is the big hot Oprah book club pick.
Absolutely.
I know. So hold this book up so people can see it. So tell me the difference between this and if I, as a library consumer, wanted to read this, but on my Kindle.
Sure. So I picked this up at R.J. Julia's in Middletown just yesterday. I paid the sticker price, which is $30 on it. That's what we pay as consumers. We probably would get a discount on Amazon. But libraries, when they buy a print copy, they get an even deeper discount than what you or I get on Amazon. And that's because libraries in Connecticut spend millions and millions of dollars on print books each year. We collectively negotiate to drive that price down. But when we talk about ebooks, the same can't be said.
And that's because of how you lend an ebook. If this was in your collection at a library, I could come in, give you my library card, and leave with that book. You need a middleman in order to give me an ebook.
That's true. We don't actually, as libraries and even as consumers, we don't actually own our ebooks. We just license them. So whereas you or me could go on Amazon and as a consumer, we buy the ebook copy for $10 or $15, unfortunately, the same can't be said for libraries. Libraries end up paying 4 to 6 times more than general consumers for the same ebook. And the kicker is that book disappears off of our virtual shelf after 2 years or 26 borrows, whatever comes first, and it's just killing the budgets of our local public libraries.
So where this might be, what did you say this might cost if you bought it?
So if you buy this on Amazon.
But did you buy it as a library?
No, so this book, if you buy it as a library, it's $60. For 2 years or 26 borrows, whatever comes first. You or I buy it for ourselves, it's $15.
And so and then if this is a popular book, which we know it is because Oprah said we should read it, you're going to have to keep buying that over and over and over. What has that done to libraries' budgets, and how do you project for that budgeting?
Right. Library budgets for ebooks have gone up, have skyrocketed over the last few years. And quite frankly, we can't keep up. The wait lists for these really popular books can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months long because there's that much demand. And quite frankly, as libraries, we can't keep up. We don't have the money to keep up, and nor should we, because what we're really talking about is taxpayer dollars. It's really not just libraries that are being overcharged here, it's taxpayers.
Tell me about this bill that passed the legislature in this session. I know it doesn't do anything immediately, but it starts heading in that direction.
Right, it's a first in the nation bill that attempts to rein in this, the cost of ebooks for libraries, as well as those contract terms that are really just unfair for libraries. It doesn't put any sort of onus on the publisher, but it says if you're a library in Connecticut and you spend public dollars, you can't agree to these outrageous prices and terms, right? So
well, if you can't agree to it as a library, that's going to put some pressure on the publishers because they want your money.
That's exactly right. We are trying to bring the publishers to the negotiating table and say, you know, we both of us want to get these authors, these books out to our communities, but really we can't afford to keep paying these outrageous prices, and neither should the taxpayer in Connecticut.
Now, this particular bill has a mechanism, isn't it, that other people have to do the same thing, so it's a strength in numbers. If seven other states, I think it is, if they pass it, then it would come into effect.
Yeah, if one or more other states with a combined population of 7 million pass this legislation, then it will trigger here in Connecticut. New Jersey just introduced very similar legislation, and they think that they'll pass it by the end of 2025.
Which could trigger it, and then we might be on the way to saving money. How big of a strain is this on libraries?
It's a huge strain. So last year alone, just in our public libraries, there were 4.5 million checkouts of ebooks. The budgets for ebooks have gone up more than 20% in the last 5 years. and our municipal budgets aren't going up 20%, our library budgets. So that means that we're taking money away from things like children's programming, physical books, and that's not good sense.
Somebody's got to pay that price.
Right.
How difficult is it for librarians also, and maybe it's not, to decide which books? Because you obviously have to have more physical books than ebooks, because you can't possibly afford to have every book as an ebook.
Yeah, that's right. When we were in Hartford arguing for this bill, we actually heard from some what I'd call mid-list authors, right? They're represented by the big 5 publishers, but they're not your James Pattersons or Ellen Hildebrand. And basically they said to legislators, libraries can't buy our books because they're too busy keeping up with the demand for those James Pattersons and Ellen Hildebrands. So we can't build a deep and broad collection that fulfills the needs for all of our readers because we're too busy just trying to keep our heads above water.
Do you think the ebook trend is a good thing for libraries if you can figure out the budgeting? I mean, does it encourage people to read, and maybe it's a mechanism to reach more people?
Right. So there are those people who love ebooks just for their convenience, right? You can download them wherever you are, just on your device, your phone, or your tablet. But there are also those people who need ebooks, whether it is someone who doesn't have transportation to their local library to pick up a physical copy, whether it's someone who has dyslexia who might need a special font to be able to read, or whether we're just getting older and we need to make that print a little bit larger to be able to read. And ebooks give us that access.
Well, I'm 45, so maybe I got to start thinking about the ebook so I can expand the text. Only 30 seconds left, but this is something that consumers should care about because it's their libraries.
Right, it's their municipal budgets. It's every public library across the state of Connecticut and across the country that is dealing with these onerous contract terms and pricing.
All right, Ellen Paul, thank you for explaining it all to us, and hopefully people will be watching it and checking out real books sometimes too.
Thank you.
That is CT 25 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning is coming up next. Have a great rest of your weekend and a happy Father's Day. We'll meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.